All right, I need to backtrack a little bit before they go into the new room requirement. There's a moment between Ron and Hermione that when they were talking about other people they might have forgotten. Ron had mentioned the elves downstairs in the kitchen. He's like, wait, we have to get them. And when he's talking about this, then Hermione just goes and grabs him and she runs up to him and they kiss. And then Ron just, wraps her up. And Harry's like, okay. So they're just kissing and drop everything that they have. And this is right before they go into the room requirement. And Harry's like, guys, guys, like, it's kind of get their attention. And he's like, we've got a war to fight, got a Horcrux to find, nice scene before they go into the room. And then fast forward back to the point I was at the last video. So Crab and Goyle, yes, they don't give a fuck. Like they're launching curses at Harry, he's dodging them, and then Hermione comes in the mix. She launches curses, and full on fight has started. Um, Harry ends up knocking, I think, Goyle's wand out of his hand, and at the same time, Malfoy's wand is knocked out of his hands. At this point, Malfoy is kind of just cowering this whole time. He doesn't launch any spells. He just like he gets his wand knocked out of his hand, and that's it. Malfoy is not even in this fight. So it's just Crabbe and Goyle. Um, Goyle gets knocked out by Hermione, and then Crabbe, he goes off and starts a fire. And, with magic, if you're starting a fire with magic, it's very hard to put out. And so he starts the fire and it just spreads. And it just spreads and spreads and spreads. The diadem has been knocked back into nowhere. And then now Ron has also broken through as well. So it's all three of them. And then Crab runs off. So Malfoy grabs Goyle and he takes him as Goyle's unconscious. So they run off, and then Harry and Ron and Hermione are trying to think what to do. Then Harry finds three brooms, grabs them, and said, "Let's go." So they start flying around just in time before the fire got to them, and because the water, they tried to do some water spell, and it just evaporated. The fire was too hot. So they're flying around, and then Harry goes. He sees Malfoy and Goyle. They're trapped, and he goes to get them. And then Ron yells like, if we die for them, I'm taking you out. And tries to grab Malfoy, but he's too heavy because he has Goyle on him. So then Ron grabs Goyle. So Ron and Hermione, they both grab Goyle, and then Harry comes back around to grab Malfoy. Malfoy is funny in this moment. He's grabbing Harry with all his might, squeezing Harry and like screaming, "Let's go, let's go, let's get out of here." He's a bitch, he's being so yeah, Malfoy is grabbing him, and then Harry spots the diadem, does a little spin move, comes down, grabs it, kind of like his old Quidditch days, and then they fly out of the room. At that point, they're all down there. Malfoy asked where Crab is. Ron said he's dead, and that's the last they talk about Crab. So we probably would have gone to look for him if he didn't try to kill us. So yeah, Crab is gone. Goyle's knocked out. Malfoy's there. They just leave them there and hop back into the fight. As they're running through, um, and the diadem just like shatters because it's been engulfed in the fire. And then Hermione explains that magical fire is also one of the things that can destroy a Horcrux. So now that just leaves the snake. And as they're going through, they come and see Percy and Fred in the hall. They're fighting two Death Eaters. One of the Death Eaters happens to be the minister. So it's Percy, he's fighting the minister, and Fred is fighting the other guy. And Fred takes his guy out. Percy, um, you know, um, Percy was talking to the minister. He was like telling the minister, "I'm just telling you, I'm resigning." And then Fred's like, "That's a good joke there, is." And just at that moment when you're about to say, "I've never heard you tell a joke until, and then boom, there is an explosion, and everyone in that whole area flies out different directions. Like Harry is thrown against the wall. He's like half covered under some rubble. He sees he's bleeding. He can tell. He sees Hermione. He goes to grab her, and then in the back, oh, they see Percy and Ron. They're over Fred, and it appears that Fred has died. And oh my gosh, yeah, Fred's no longer with us.